Is it posted somewhere where it's live?
Yeah, it's on Mac Students. Hey guys, we're live. Should be on Mac Students. We are testing out new stuff today, and so be patient with us. Come on, buttons aren't working like they should. Hey, so we are live. We're trying some new stuff out tonight, so that we can bring you some cool features throughout throughout this daily devotional thing tonight. At 7, like, because it's 7:01 p.m. I guess it's tonight, even though the sun's still out. We have special guest tonight, John Pimpo himself. Let me see if I can bring you in real quick. Hold on, don't wave. Nobody can see you. All right, now you can wave.
Hello.
We are gonna do some like interview type stuff tonight, and we just want to. We'll be doing this. Hopefully, we can get a couple more people, like Pastor Adam, Pastor Aaron, people that I know, things like that, that you don't know, but I know them. So, first of all right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. John, how are y'all doing? How's your family doing in this whole thing?
We're doing great. It's just funny that I'm still working, and so I mean my job is I work from my house anyway.
Okay.
So I work from home and I do travel a bunch. And then we homeschool our kids. So we have 4 kids, and my wife does a fantastic, amazing job already homeschooling our 4 kids. So for us, for an overall standpoint, this really has not been all that much of a change for us at all. I mean, I looked at friends of mine that are on Facebook, and that unfortunately it really is changing their lives a lot, where you got a lot of folks who do have to work from home now, who haven't had to work from home before.
Yeah.
And their kids are there, and they're trying to do conference calls and stuff with a kindergartner jumping in on them and stuff. And so for me, from a work standpoint, obviously I've got my over there. I mean, I've got my thing all set up for doing video calls already. I mean, this is kind of what I do on a daily basis anyhow. So this, from an overall work standpoint, things are the same. From a schooling standpoint, I mean, the kid, it's normal for us. And so that's been one of the things for us, is that it's been very normal. So we really haven't felt any changes or differences when it comes to what we do, and what we're looking at. And I think that's one of the things that I think, honestly, as Christians, and as we need to be cognizant that, we see people that are in a little bit of there's concern from some folks out there, but then at the same time, we need to realize that there's some folks who aren't, they're rooted, and there's not a lot of concern. And once you kind of breed concern, it makes other people concerned. So if there's a light that we can shed that is more, positive light, and not spreading, trying to stay as normal as possible and not breeding fear and breeding negativity, I think that's the best thing that we can do, is try to stay as normal as we can.
I agree. This I don't think that, this is just a season that we're in. It's not going to be the end. And so, folks, if you're watching at home, people are texting me, how do I watch this? So I'm trying to, I'm totally paying attention to you, John, but I've got parents trying to figure out how to watch it. So I'm trying to send them links and stuff like that. But yeah, I totally agree with you. This has kind of rattled some people, and some people it's almost kind of not really business as usual, because it does probably affect y'all when it comes to having to go get groceries or things like that. I haven't been that much affected either, because I go to work. I only work with like 3 or 4 people, so it doesn't affect me that much. But going to Target, it kind of affects me. So yeah, but it's just weird how even the minute things are affecting us. So that's that. I was going to ask you, so has it changed y'all, and has it changed your lives that much, seeing how you kind of work from home and homeschool and all that kind of stuff? So is it, I mean, have y'all is it kind of business as usual for y'all?
Yeah, like I said, Janelle still has a full schedule with the kids, and so the school schedule really hasn't changed, for us at all.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. I look around our neighborhood and I see there's a significant amount more people that are out and about. Even on a regular Saturday in the spring, I would not see this many people out and about. I mean, I think that there are a lot of people that are just stir crazy, wanting to get out, wanting to, be outside and do things. For us, I mean, we have a lot of online scheduled classes and things that have been in-person things that have been canceled that we've shifted to online things. And, again, you just got to roll with it like a twig on the shoulders of a mighty stream.
That's good. I'm going to steal that.
It's deep. That's from that's again. I have no new material. That's from John Candy. That is not mine whatsoever. So I'm just saying.
Well, last night's devotional was totally not me at all. It was Craig Rochelle's. I definitely stole all his material because it was so good. I was like, I got to hear this. So yeah. All right. So talking about the time period that we're in, fear has kind of been really our theme for the last few days in this daily devotional thing. And we're talking about choosing faith over fear, choosing to be filled with joy, things like that instead of fear. So I want to ask you if there was like one verse, one passage of scripture, something like that, that's been really heavy on your mind during this time. What would that be?
Yeah, I love, there are so many verses when it comes to, that God is in control, and there's so many of those that are out there that you can easily fall to. But the one that has really come to mind for me is 2 Timothy 1:7. That God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. Depending on what version you look at. Yep. But essentially, we're saying that God has given us has not given us a spirit of fear. So that's something that's not in His DNA. That is not in what He has given us by any means. And so we should not even look at that as something that is even a building block of who God is. Number one, there is not a lick of fear in Him at all, and we are made in His image. And so if we are made in His image and there's no fear in Him, then in turn, He has not given us anything that is to be feared. We're not. And like I said last week when we talked, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having, being fearful in this time, because we're human, and that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. There's going to be fearful stuff that's happened. We're going to be anxious, and that's the kind of stuff that happens when we live in a fallen world like this. Yeah. But realize that ultimately God is in control in these situations, and we need to fall back on that and realize that this whole thing doesn't surprise Him, and this is not anything that He's taken back, saying, "Holy cow, I cannot believe that I was over here, doing the stars and doing the moon. I totally forgot about this coronavirus thing. I'm so sorry." It's not like it's a miss on His part. He knew this was going to happen. Right. Unfortunately, we live in a fallen world, and we live in a world that has sicknesses and viruses and stuff that happens. So, but at the same, we cannot be fearful. We cannot let this kind of stuff overtake us. We are supposed to be given power and strong mind and self-discipline to be able to put that, the self-discipline and control comes into play, where we have the ability to squash that fear. And we have the ability, God has given us that ability to push that down. And there's certain things that, we need to take control of our thoughts, control of our minds, control of what we have, and do what we can, and know that God has given us the power, the ability to do that.
Right. And I think you touched on something that maybe a lot of people, and we don't have time to talk about it tonight, so we'll probably broach this subject. Either
broach.
Oh, I know. Hey, yeah, listen. I got a little bit of a vocabulary. We'll probably broach that. I said it. We'll probably
said it again. Hey, you got it, man. Just roll with it. Broach all you want to. Broach all night.
I've made fun of myself. I can't use it anymore. We'll probably talk about that in an upcoming devotional Devo time. But I think you touched on something that really made me think. This didn't catch God off guard and stuff. But I know that there's people out there that have the thought, well, if this didn't catch God off guard, then why does He let it happen? And people have been asking that question for years and centuries and probably millennia. why does God let bad stuff happen? If he's all powerful and all knowing and all this kind of stuff, why does he let bad things happen to good people?
Right.
Why does he let good things happen to bad people? And so I think that's something really that we should talk about in this, especially in this time. Why did God let this coronavirus thing happen? And so, like I said, we don't have the time to talk about it tonight. And it's, tough questions don't really deserve easy answers. And so I don't think it would be. Go ahead.
I'm reading a fantastic book right now. My wife gave to me by Ted Decker. It's called The 49th. What's it called? The 49th Mystic. And one of the characters is she's blind, and she is telling the story of the goes into talking about the one blind man in the Bible, and he talks about they ask who sinned here? Was it him or was it his parents? For why he became blind? And it ultimately, that's a bad thing that happened in this world.
Yeah.
Why did God allow something like that to happen? But ultimately, he used it for his glory.
Yeah.
Now, does that stink for the blind guy? Yeah. But you look at how the humbleness of that would turn around to say, God is going to use me and use this situation for his glory. How awesome is that, to realize that he's going to use something like this, and why would God use coronavirus like this? Why do we all need a time to unplug? Do we all need a time we all spoke? Why? These are the great questions to say, what am I going to do with this time that I've been given?
Yeah. So I definitely, I like that question because it has an answer. It's not one of those, people try to use it to go against the Bible, to go against God, and be like, that's why I'm not a Christian, because why would God? All that stuff. So I love tough questions because it gets us to think and stuff like that. So that's one of those questions that I think everybody asks, even Christians, like, why did God? And again, we don't have the time to go into it, but it's one of those that we want to answer correctly. And so we'll broach that subject on another Devo. But John, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We've kind of run out of time, but you got about 30 seconds. Is there anything else you want to let our students know until the next time you talk to them?
That is all. Keep praying for you. Keep busy. Do not be stuck inside. And it's going to get colder here a little bit, but get outside, do some stuff. Find folks to volunteer with. I know there's opportunities out there to do some stuff. Find folks that need stuff delivered. Help out. Find something to do. Don't just be stuck inside. Rock on. We're praying for you. I love you.
I love it. Thanks, John, for joining us, man. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Let's see here. I think I'm still on. So that's it. Thanks for joining us tonight. I can't wait to talk about that subject about why does God let bad things happen and stuff like that. There's an answer to it, I promise you. And it's an answer that if we really do want to be open to it, it's an answer we have to accept. But it's a tough question for sure. But we want to be able to talk about it in the proper amount of time. So love you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. I think we had a little hiccup with the live feed, but we'll post this later. Love you guys. Thanks so much. Let's see here. Thanks for joining us. Bye, y'all.